Yo, what's up, guys? It's Tony, aka T-Slaps here, and we are here with our Week 6 prep, our Week 6 Team Builder versus Coach T-Row and the Columbus Cabalians. Of course, him and all the other NCP coaches will be linked down in the description below. Go check out any other content down below if you want to do so. Of course, spoilers for Week 5, so you guys did not see the NCP playlist for this season is down in the description below as well. But we are sitting at 1-4 after picking up our first win last week against Coach Liv. You can go check out that battle, of course. That's, like I said, in the playlist. And we are fighting for our lives. Every single week from here on out, we will be fighting for our lives in this playoff run. We are currently 11 seed. Despite being 1-4, there's a lot of teams that are also sitting at this very, very terrible record. There's a lot of teams also sitting at the top pretty nicely. Really, the top 7 seeds have pretty much already clinched, maybe outside of like Pat Mac here at seed number 7. But really, it's going to be everyone fighting, I believe, for the 8th seed. I'm actually not too sure. I think it's just top 8 seeds, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Playoffs will be top 8. Yep. So, really, it's everyone fighting for that number 1 seed right now, and we are already a bit behind. Like Amel, we're a bit behind. Who's LAG? That's D-Ray. Hayes, the New Orleans Noivern. We're a little behind everyone right now. So we are definitely going to be playing catch up. But I think if we get to that 4-4 record, we're going to be looking really, really solid. So that's really what we're aiming for at this point. And we're just going to hop right into the team builder. Of course, our team is the same as always. Let me get back to our team page here. We are rocking out, of course, with our Weavile, Nihileo, Savali, Rotom, Mo, Megamortar, Vandabuzz, Necrozma, Gastrodon, Melmetal, and Aromatisse. Whereas opponent has Gengar, Comfey, Salamence, Urshifu, Single Strike. I know he has the good one. I don't know what the name of the form, so that's why I had to check real quick on my notes. But he has Urshifu Single Strike, Rotom Heat, Swampert, Eldegoss, Tangrowth, Dino, Golisopod, and Bronzong. So, things I'm thinking, looking at his team. Alright, so looking at that Gengar, I think it can run through my team pretty well. I think it's a few possible sets, whether he's bringing like Life Orbs for attacks, or he brings like subsets, like Sub Nasty Plot, I guess could work. I think he does definitely need some coverage moves, of course, just dual stabs. Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb hit my team pretty nice. I think he might need the Focus Blast for my Melmetal. I think he might need the Dazzling Gleam for my what is it called? My Mandibuzz. The Dazzling Gleam for my Mandibuzz. I don't know why I was tripping there so hard. And then he might want to bring the Energy Ball. I guess I bring Spidef Gastrodon. I guess he could do without Focus Blast. Unless I bring some Valley Steel. That might be his only concern there, because I'm sure Shadow Ball does enough to my Melmetal if he's like a Life Orb set. But that's something I'm thinking there with that. The Comfey, I think it's going to be pretty annoying. I could definitely see a Calm Mind set being very, very annoying. Toxic and Leaf Seeding set. I think the support that Comfey gets is really, really good. I really want to draft Comfey, to be honest, and I think Comfey is going to be very, very annoying. I think it's going to be like a max HP, max speed sort of set. I think it's going to be very, very speedy and just very, very annoying for my team to try to break down, especially with like Triage and Natural Cure, depending on which one he decides to bring. Next, we got a Salamence, and I think there's a number of different things he could do with this thing. I think he could bring DD. I think Scarf, Moxie could also be really, really good. And I also think that defensive with Rocky Helmet could work out really, really nice. I think if he runs like defensive with Rocky Helmet, I'm sure Rocky Helmet chip after 2 double Iron Bashes into like a Flamethrower or a Fire Blast would kill my Melmetal. So that's something I do need to be careful of. And I think if he brings he could bring like Bulky Roost or a Bulky Wish set, I think any of that could work. So Salamence is something to be careful of and see what he decides to do with that. Again, Urshifu, completely scary for my team. I mean, for any team. And I realized it prepping for this team why so many people draft the Urshifu Gengar. Those two mons offensively are just insane to build against. You really have to have like the perfect counter team, really, to be able to prep like completely confidently for those two. And I mean, I definitely had trouble prepping for him in here. And Urshifu, of course, I don't know what it could be. Scarf, Banded, Life Orb, any of those sets. It could be a bulk up set. I think he'll probably bring Close Combat, Wicked Blow, U-turn, and then Iron Head. He could, like I said, switch up one of those for like maybe like Taunt or Bulk Up. But that's really what he has. And then maybe Sucker Punch if he really, really wants it. But I don't think it does crazy against my team. I think just for the Necrozma and maybe the Weavile. But, I mean, Weavile, it's going to be hard to break down Urshifu with that. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, really got to be careful about how much I'm bringing in my Weavile. Because every time I bring in Weavile, that kind of lets Urshifu come in for free. Of course, it's going to be able to take a decent, or it's not going to, like, enjoy taking a crash or anything like that, depending on the bulk investment it has. But if he's like carrying Drain Punch over close combat, he just gets all that health back on so many of my mons. So that's something I do need to be careful for. He has the Rotom Heat. I think that could just be a Fizz Def set. If I can knock off those leftovers, that would be amazing. Or not leftovers, sorry, but the heavy duty boots. That would be really, really nice. I think it's just going to be an annoying, like maybe dual status set with that Rotom. And then next we got Swampert. I think just going to be Fizz Def, set up rocks if he brings it with Flip Turn for initiative. Eldegoss, don't really have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of experience with Eldegoss. It's my first time ever facing one. But it looks like it's just going to be like a defensive set, just meant to kind of on the same line as Comfey, where it's just really going to be statusing your team. And it's just going to be using a lot of status moves to kind of window down your team with Leech Seed, with Cotton Guard, Stun Spore, Synthesis, all that. It also gets Spin, which is pretty cool. So I don't think Eldegoss comes though. I'm going to be honest. Next we got Tangrowth though. I think it could either be Helmet or I think it's going to be Assault Vest. I think Giga Drain, Earthquake, Focus Blast, Knockoff hits my team extremely well. I think that's pretty good for him to bring if he's going to bring an AB Tangrowth. If he doesn't want to, I can see him taking off one of those moves like Earthquake and slapping on like Leech Seed or Sleep Powder. Next we got Dino. Same thing as Eldegoss and Comfey. We're just really meant to support the team with its status. You know, it can Wish and Heal Bell and Encore off. It does get Flamethrower and it does get Knockoff. Those would be very, very annoying for my team to bring to go up against. And I definitely think those are the two moves that he would bring attacking wise on the Dino if he decided to bring it. I can see it being especially defensive for my Nihileo. That'd be, and like maybe a Spadef Necrozma. I think that's his only Spadef wall I think he would really bring. I think everything else would be physically defensive, like a physically defensive Rotom, Swampert, Tangrowth. I think those being his physically defensive bulk to his team would just make sense. Golisopod. I think Golisopod comes, to be honest. I think it has a pretty good matchup against me. I think just him bringing boots. And then first impression goes pretty well against my team. If he decides to bring like a dual priority with Aqua Jet for like my Nihileo and my Magmortar, that is like completely viable. You could have CC for my Melmetal. And then last move like Liquidation. Only problem is he wouldn't really hit Rotom Mo. And then maybe like a certain Silvally type. Really, that's about it. I think that set just really does really well against my team. So that's something for me to be careful of. Is that Golisopod? It's going to be very, very scary to deal with. If I can get that knockoff and get the boots out, or I mean get the rocks up, that's going to be really nice. And then lastly is the Bronzong. All right, which is going to be very annoying for my team to break. I don't know. He could go defensive or specially defensive, I think, with this thing. And I think Iron Defense, Body Press is going to be the set he brings if he decides to bring it. And I think he'll probably just have Swampert be his rocker for the team. That's what I'm thinking he's going to bring when it comes to what he has. And then, of course, the team will still stay on the top right, as it always is. And the team that we said to bring to counteract that, we got a Fizz Def. It's supposed to be Fizz Def. Good thing we go over this. We got a Fizz Def Aromatisse. Just meant to be a soft check to the Urshifu. Of course, it's very, very hard to check Urshifu. But this at least makes sure that he can't, like, if he's like a Scarf or a Bandit set, that he can't spam either that stabs into my Aromatisse, which is going to be really nice. So, there's that. Just Wish, Moonblast, Protect, Leftovers. I considered Calm Mind or Nasty Plot. I considered Heal Bell. And then I considered Heal Block, because I thought that could be some really nice tech. But I think this is just the set to go. I think he might try to Toxic me down. Like I said, I think that Rotom's going to be double status. If he like burns me with Swampert, if he puts me to sleep with Tangrowth or something like that, if he like Toxics me with Comfey, I think having that Heal Bell is going to be really nice for my team. Next we got a Nihileo, pretty defensive, pretty bulky. Make sure I still get the special attack boost because I do think that's important. And this is meant to really switch into that Gengar and the Comfey. I think this just hits his team pretty well. I think the only thing that I would have liked to have brought is maybe like Dazzling Gleam for the Urshifu, or I mean, I would say something for the Bronzong, but Nihileo doesn't get a lot to touch Bronzong. I don't think Foul Play was going to be doing a lot. So I just decided 3 attacks with the rocks could be nice. I think rocks are going to be really nice if I can get the knockoff on like the Rotom and the Gliscopod. And then maybe the Salamence as well. I think rock could be really key to chewing up this game. So there's that. Next we got a Weavile with Roselli Berry. Really tossed up its item a lot from like from protective pads to life orb to heavy duty boots. Decided to follow on Roselli Berry because of course the priority draining kiss from that Comfey. Ice School Crash, knockoff Swords Dance Protect. This is also a set that I was really torn on when it came to what I wanted to do with it, and I'm really not too sure looking into it right now. So that this might change from the battle, or it might change right now in the team builder. But Ice School Crash, knockoff Swords Dance Protect. I really liked SD. I think I originally had Ice Shard over Protect, but now I'm thinking maybe just no SD, and I just run Ice Shard, just in case that Salamence is Scarf, because otherwise that Salamence, after you get some Moxie Boost, could be very scary for my team, especially because Aromatisse is going to be very dwindled down. So I think I do want to switch that off of Ice Shard. I'm looking at the team right now, and I think I'm going to take off Swords Dance. I'm going to put on Ice Shard. Sucks. I think the Swords Dance pressure really could have been nice, but I think this is better. Running Protect, obviously, for the first impression on Gliscopod. Unfortunately, we don't really knock it into emergency exit range with Weavile, so I'll probably swap out first before I do that. Does swapping out have higher priority? I'm gonna have to look that up. If swapping out, I think swapping out does have higher priority over first impression, so it's not like Pursuit. I will be able to switch out before I get hit with the first impression, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. Next, we got our Gastrodon here. It's called Ice Beam Toxic Recover. Just a 5th death set meant to take some of the pressure off of Aromatisse, so that Aromatisse can hopefully just solely focus on having to deal with that Urshifu and checking that. So you'll try to take hits from the Gliscopod, from the Salamence, and of course you can switch into Rotom Heat. Might get status, but that's what we got Aromatisse for on the Heal Bell. Next we got a MELMETAL here. Crazy MELMETAL set here. We're rocking Solar Beam, Double Iron Bash, Rock Tomb, Ice Beam. I think it, I was really struggling to find out what I wanted for my 6th mon. I know it shows it in the 5th slot, but I already knew I wanted Silvally. I was really struggling to find what I wanted to have in the 6th slot on this team, and I thought that MELMETAL would be fine. I don't need it to win or anything like that. I just needed to go in and then chip down his team extremely heavily. So that's what we're doing with this MELMETAL here. Double Iron Bash, of course, hit the team extremely hard. Even as Salamence is not going to appreciate it. Rock Tomb to hit that Rotom, and maybe like hit the Salamence, and then maybe at -1 we outspeed it. I actually would love to check that calc. I don't think so though. 162 times 2 would be what is that? What's 162? That's 36 plus 50 is 86. I'm not doing that math right. I don't even have my phone on me, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't think we will outspeed it. That's fine. Rock Slide or Rock Tomb, like I said, is going to be for that Rotom, and then we outspeed the Rotom, and maybe 2 Rock Tombs kills it at that point, wherever we're sitting at in the game. So I might be able to do that. Ice Beam for the Tangrowth, it does about the same amount as Double Iron Bash, but the difference is I won't get hit with Rocky Helmet if he is Rocky Helmet, and if he ends up chewing the Ice Beam better, then obviously he's AV, and if he's AV, then I know I can Double Iron Bash into it. And then Solar Beam for that Swampert. I'm not going to click it the first time around, just in case he wants to predict that, the Power Herb Solar Beam. But I think the second time around, I'm going to definitely pop it. So there's that. And then lastly, Silvally Fire. I really daunted what Silvally Fire said I wanted to bring. It was really tough figuring out what I wanted to do. Decided on this set, we got Silvally Fire, Flame Charge, Rock Slide, Grass Pledge, and Swords Dance. really wanted to bring an offensive Cell Valley, like hardcore offensive. It switches into Bronzong and Tangrowth and Eldegoss pretty well. Of course, Swampert is, I think, a Spadef. Swampert gets 2-hit KO'd after rocks with Grassy Pledge with this investment. And of course, Max Attack, Flame Charge. We'll get up our speed and it's Stab, Rock Slide to hit the Salamence and the Rotom. And then, you already know, like I said, what Grass Pledge is for. So I'm really hoping this is going to put a lot of pressure onto his team. He's not really going to hopefully expect it. Unfortunately, obviously, no Defogger on this team, so Swampert or Bronzong being his 2 rockers, really got to try to stop him from setting it up. Or if I do, then, you know, I can set up rocks with Sirens. And if I do that, then I can hopefully like force him into a defog, because his only spinner is Eldegoss. If he wants to get rid of hazards, you have to get rid of them with Defog Rotom, Defog Comfey, Defog Salamence. And I think that's about it. So that's the team we are deciding to bring here against T-Rail. Like I said, we do have to win this game. I definitely think he has an amazing team, and it's going to be hard to win this one. It definitely is, but of course, we're going to go into it with our heads held high and ready to face him. So I'm going to see you guys in the battle. Of course, that'll be up tomorrow, aka on Friday, because this is going up on Thursday. If you guys did enjoy, make sure that like button and, of course, subscribe. This has been T-Slaps, and I'm out. Peace.